Alrighty, first graders, welcome back. So today I get to teach you guys one of my favorite art lessons. And we are going to be reading one of my favorite books, which is Giraffes Can't Dance. And this is actually not a lesson that I came up with. This is a lesson I've been teaching for about 8 or 9 years. And it was actually a lesson that was taught to me when I was learning how to be an art teacher. So I had to spend about a year learning how to be a teacher. Well, I spent more than that. I spent about 5 years learning how to be a teacher, but I spent a year learning from other teachers. So working in another teacher's classroom, learning how to be an art teacher. And this was a project that that art teacher taught, and I loved it so much, and I had never heard that story before, and I absolutely loved it. And it's become a book that I have bought for my own son, and I read it to him at home. And it's a project that I look forward to teaching every single year. So this is my Giraffes Can't Dance project, and we are actually going to get to draw some giraffes dancing. So hopefully you guys already watched the video and read the book Giraffes Can't Dance. Some of you guys, my first graders, had said they've already read it, so I'm wondering if you guys read it maybe with your first grade teacher. So that's cool, because it is such an awesome book. That's great that you guys have already had a chance to hear it, and you guys get to hear it again. So for the first step, I recommend using a pencil. That way if you make a mistake, you can erase it. And what we're going to do is just draw our giraffe dancing. So you can hold your paper this way or this way. It doesn't really matter. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with the body of our giraffe. So I'm going to actually draw my oval on an angle. And I've got a tricky spot here because of this stand. So it's kind of being a little bit bumpy. So I'm going to take a chunk of cardboard and put it underneath and see if that helps a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to finish my oval. And this is going to be my giraffe's body. Wow, that is a very lumpy oval. We're going to try that again. There we go. Okay, so there's my giraffe's body. Now we're going to want to do the giraffe's next. So I think this giraffe, I am going to start from the side or the top, and I'm going to do kind of a rainbow line going around and down. And then I'm going to do a second line to be the rest of the giraffe's neck. Then I'm going to do an oval shape for my giraffe's head. Okay. Then I'm going to do my ears, and I just do my ears like little leaf shapes. If you have your own way of doing giraffe ears, it's totally fine with me. Now giraffes have these little horns on the top of their head, and so I'm going to do 4 little lines, and then I'm going to draw a little circle on top, because that is what they look like. Okay, then you can go ahead and do your giraffe's eyes. So this giraffe, I'm actually going to have his eyes closed. I usually draw him with his eyes open, but I wanted to do it a little differently today. And then I'm going to do little nostrils and a little half smile coming up. So there's my Gerald's face. Okay. Then this is where it gets fun, because this is where you can make him look like he's dancing. So I have lots of different poses for my giraffes that I have done over the years. And what's fun is just to make their legs bend and go all different directions. So I think for this one, I am going to have... It's always so hard to decide. Okay, I'm going to have this leg, and make sure it's in my camera. I have this leg going up, and then I'm going to have it turn up like this. I'm going to connect it with a line, and then I'm going to add the hoof. And some students like to do the split, and because giraffes have split hooves, so that's kind of fun to do. And then I think for this other leg, I'm going to actually make it overlap the body. So I'm going to make it go down, and then I'm going to make it turn back towards the body, like this. Then I'm going to do the hoof. Then the legs, I'm going to try and do a crisscross. So I'm going to have them go down and then cross. So down and then cross. Make sure I'm not out of the picture here. There we go. And then do the same thing with this one. Down. Oops. And then cross. There. Now my Gerald has little crisscross legs. I've always wanted to do that one, and I have not done this pose yet. So I'm excited about that. Okay, so then all you have left to do, oh, his tail. So giraffe tails are really fun. They are long and skinny with like these hairs at the end. So you can go ahead and do your tail. I'm gonna make it swish over this way to the side, so it's like overlapping. And then the hair is behind his leg like that. There we go. Okay, then all we need is the giraffe spots. And when I was in Africa, the safari guide said that you can kind of describe giraffe spots as like rounded squares. So I kind of think of them like we were talking about last week with our organic shapes. I kind of think of them being like organic shapes, right? Because they're not really circles, they're not really squares, they're not perfect ovals. They're kind of just an organic shape, right? A shape that you kind of just find in nature. So we're gonna go ahead and draw that. And I like to erase these spots where it overlaps so that I can tell that this is in front of his body. And like I said here, or maybe I didn't say it, I erased that spot where the neck connects to the body so that it looks like it's connected. So don't forget to do the spots all over the neck, the body. Some people like to do it on the face too. I usually just leave the face because I don't want it to get like mixed up, but you are welcome to put the spots on the face if you would like. Spots down the legs, the other legs, and I think we're good. Okay, so now it's time to add the color. And here at school, we're trying out a new supply today. I introduced oil pastels today. So if you have oil pastels in your art stuff at home, you can go ahead and dig those out. Otherwise, crayons work for this project just fine as well. I am going to just explain oil pastels a little bit. They are like a crayon. But crayons are made out of wax. Oil pastels are made out of oil. So they're a little smoother. They color a little bit darker, and they are a lot of fun. I really, really like them. They do a great job of resisting water. So when we do our watercolor paints over top, they do a good job of blocking that water so that you can paint right up to the edge without it smudging your oil pastels. So I would choose some giraffe colors, so like browns and yellows work good. I'm going to do this giraffe kind of brownish spots with gold, yellow colored body. But it's going to take me a while to color this. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and pause the video, color it in, and then press play when you are ready to do the painted background, okay? So hopefully you've finished coloring and your project should look something like this, except for I did start painting a little bit here. So the cool thing with this, the reason I started painting is because I wanted to show you, you can take a white crayon or a white oil pastel and do stars, and then we're going to paint right over them and they will appear. So we're just using our regular watercolor tray again today. This is what we use for most things around here. I'm going to just go ahead and reach over and grab a paintbrush. All you got to do is, as always, get your paintbrush wet, make it dance in the paint, and then just start painting your background. And the nice thing is you can usually paint right up to the edge of that giraffe, and it won't bleed into your giraffe because that oil pastel repels that water and kind of keeps it away from your giraffe, which is nice. But you can start to see my stars appear, which is kind of fun. And you can go ahead and paint your background. And you can paint this however you want. You don't have to choose just, regular old blue. You can blend in some purples, or if you want to make yours like a sunset, maybe Gerald, your giraffe, is out dancing in the sunset, or maybe the sunrise, so you could do like the warm colors, reds and oranges and yellows. Maybe I saw some giraffes today were painted with black backgrounds because the jungle dance happened at night, so they used their black paint to do a black background, and I think that turned out pretty cool too. I might blend in some black here with mine to darken it up a little bit. That might be fun. Ooh, yeah, that's fun. So the last step today is just the painting step. And of course, if you don't have paint, you are welcome to use the marker technique that we used with crayons, where you color the background with marker, and then the giraffe with crayons. You can color the whole thing with crayons or markers or colored pencils. These are just the materials that we used because we are just practicing with our paints. We're practicing with new materials, which is oil pastels, so that we're learning how to use all these new supplies, but it's totally fine if you don't have those at home. Also, if you have not picked up your watercolor tray yet and you would like to pick up your watercolor tray, don't forget all remote kids have their own watercolor tray with their name on the back, and all you have to do is ask and I will drop it in the office for you. Just let me know when you're going to be dropping in to pick that up, and I will try to make sure that that is in the Primary Center office for you. I am only down in the Primary Center in the afternoons, so you got to give me a little warning so that I can get it down there for you. But I'm happy to drop that off if you need it or want it. Otherwise, happy coloring, painting, whatever you use. And of course, as always, take a picture, show me what you made. I can't wait to see all of your beautiful dancing giraffes. Like I said, this is one of my favorite projects. I love how these turn out. They're so fun, they're so silly, and they just always turn out so nice. So I will talk to you guys soon.